I actually, when I graduated high school, swore I would never go back into high school ever again. I saw a high school right next to where my apartment complex was. So I just decided I would go down one day to the football field and tell the head coach, you know, I'm here to help coach football. And then before I knew it, I went and started substituting. And before I knew it, I was like, I think this is my calling. I think this is what I want to do. I think that helped me as I transitioned to the classroom because I started to look at the kids as kids and not just trying to teach math. So that really changed my philosophy on how I think about education. The highest level of teaching is really understanding assessment. How to assess, how to give kids feedback so that they move forward instead of stand still. I could do things to make scores go up, but that wasn't lasting change. And then we were also not doing things we needed to do to really make them prepared for leaving school. I started in a traditional setting with actually just couple teachers and said, hey, what do y'all think about maybe trying something different? We should be focused on the really important things. Grit, overcoming obstacles, thinking, being creative. But there wasn't really I can't identify what you know and don't know. And so that's what we want our grading practices to do, or actually identify, you've done this well, and at what level have you done it well? Have you done it at a proficient level, or are you really done this at an advanced level? I actually started that the last school I was at, and we moved in a direction, we moved pretty far in 3 years in that direction. I've generally found most people really like the change to a standards-based grade book. The point of standards-based grading is for you to spend time on things that you need more time to learn, and for you to spend less time on things that you already know. It's not about when a kid learns, it's about if a kid learns and what they know and don't know. To me, the biggest difference here in a traditional setting is that our kids here are very ingrained into many parts of how the school functions. So our students make the rules. So they have a much more of an ownership in terms of what happens. The grading, right? They're much more in control than they've ever been, right? Because it doesn't become about when, it becomes about if. Students are much more a part of owning what happens in their learning. And to me, that's probably the fundamental difference. When you leave here, you should be able to critically think well, innovate well, and collaborate well. So how is our school uniquely different? Very student-owned in terms of things that we do. And the second part, and even how to set that up, you have to shift the paradigm from just content to process and content. People are not widgets, so that's why we get more kids rebelling, more kids disengaged, because we're pushing them into a system that was made for 100 years ago, instead of a system that's supposed to help extract their passions, their excitement, and soft skills, as well as content knowledge, so that they can be very successful when they leave the building. So to say that I wanted to be a school principal was never something that I dreamed of doing. But then I got to really learn how a school runs and functions, and that became a little bit more appealing. Like, wow, there's a lot of intricacies to this. And I have an industrial engineering degree, and it turns out that running a school is very similar to industrial engineering. It's a systems-oriented process. And so there are a lot of moving parts every day in a school. And I really have come to enjoy how school is just this dynamic model. And so I've sort of taken to it, and And this job, I can firmly say, like, when I was in high school, I never would have seen myself doing this job. And then here now, I can't imagine doing a different job.
All right, so my gift is at this time, if you are a car rider or car